Hey friends, welcome back. Today's conversation is going to be around confidence and how to step more confidently into um, your navigation here on this plane, so that you can really truly embody and embrace what it is to be on this material plane and also be spiritual. So let's dive in. I am going to share my screen potentially and just show you my design so that you just have a visual of what we're talking about here today. So I want to speak to you around the ego center and the heart center because that's where I notice that confidence truly lies in the human design body graph. As well, I'm going to walk you through each profile line to help you lean a little deeper into confidence based off of your role here in this lifetime. So when we look at the heart center, the first thing that is important for you to recognize is that the collective, okay, the collective abstract, and the collective logic, okay, doesn't flow through the ego center. So the ego center is not concerned about the blame game or the victim game. Okay? It's not playing a part here in your capacity to hone in your confidence. So whether your ego center or heart center is defined or not is irrelevant here. Why? Because conditioning can sit in both areas. Conditioning can resonate or sit in the defined center, and it can also get stuck in the open center. So conditioning on both fields can happen, whether it's defined or undefined. And why did I bring up the collective here? Because the collective really is about formulas. It's about the blame game. It's about experience. It's about data. But at the heart and soul, okay, of the ego and the heart center, the only thing that the ego and the heart center is concerned about is the material plane and this beautiful 5125. And what is that? That is your initiation. It's kind of like the Fool card in the tarot. This is the initiation into your own identity. Okay. So the ego and the heart center, how can you gain confidence in the material world? And how can you gain confidence in your own spiritual awakening, your own spiritual initiation, your own spiritual path, your own spiritual leadership? Well, there's a few ways to look at this. And today we're going to take a look at it through the line values and being able to recognize that. So first, again, let's play here. So when we take a look at the three tribal gates, the 26, what is it? It is very concerned with this transmission of something new for the tribe, okay? And that newness, selling that newness to the tribe, okay? We can look at this as egotistical. We can look at it through a lot of those lenses that, again, Rob brought us a lot of dense energy fields. And why he did that is to kind of like corrupt and break up what that energy field is in the body so that you could express a higher version of it. So with the 26, it sells us a new pattern, something brand new, so that the tribe can flourish, can move forward in their material existence. The 40, it's the foreman, it's the worker. The 40 is here to deny or deliver. Deny or deliver. oneself into, okay, into this spiritual awakening or material awakening. So often we, how do I want to say this? We disregard the 3D world um, as spiritual people. And it's very difficult to do that because the two of them are married here. They are married here. Your spirituality and your 3D reality are both married right here in the heart center. And the 21, of course, what do we know about the 21? The 21 is truly this capacity to implement for the tribe, how to say manage the education, manage the materialism that the 40 has brought, the 26 has renewed, so that everybody in the tribe has a quote unquote win-win. So that the education, the resources are available to everyone no matter what. Okay. Now, how do the resources get to the heart center? Well, they get to the heart center through capitalism, okay, and they are distributed through socialism. So both need to be available for the tribe to flourish. And I know I'm getting to the confidence that you're looking for in this video. Then we look at the 5125. So our spiritual path actually starts in the 1949, goes up to the 3740. So spirituality actually comes from a deep, like tribal connection. Most tribes around the world, they believe in a power that is guiding all of us, right? That has this capacity to quote unquote oversee all of it. And then what the 40 does will either deliver or deny oneself into the spiritual initiation. And the beauty of this is the more confidence that you hold within your decision making, we're going to get to the profiles, but the more confidence you can step into, the more you will notice that your materialism and your spirituality are not separate. They are actually one in the same. Okay? Because the more connected you are with a source field that is beyond you, and you can bring down that source field and have it be your ally in the material creation. Now the two of them, they're not separate. They're not separate. Okay? And that's truly where we can lean into our confidence when we recognize that our spiritual world and our 3D world are one and the same. They truly are one in the same. So let's just take a look at this through the lens of the line values, because I think this may assist you moving forward. So when we take a look at the first line, what do we know about the first line? In order for the first line to have confidence, it needs to study. It needs to be able to have the material to study. Like, what is it that you want to study? What is it that you're guided to study? What is your decision making moving you towards to study? Maybe it's artificial intelligence. Maybe it's engineering. Maybe it's nursing. Maybe it is human design. Maybe it is maps and topography. Who knows? You will know. But the more you study, okay, the less fear you're going to have, because you're going to be able to tap into your wisdom about whatever it is that you're here to study. So in order for you to have confidence, you need to study. I know this deeply. As a 1-3, I spent 8 years taking classes at the Human Design school, human design, the International Human Design School, and the BG5 Business Institute. 8 years. And in 8 years, I missed one class. And I took, in some semesters, I was taking 3 classes. So as a first line, that was important to me. And the more I learned and studied and dissected the information, the more confidence I had to go out and assist my clients. So if you're a first line, what is it that you need to study? What is it that in the material that you are studying, what is it that you think that you're missing? Okay, and then you can go and write out, what is it? What are those curiosities that you believe that you are missing? And then what's going to happen is that the consciousness field is going to bring that material to you, whether that be a human being or a book or a podcast, so that that material can be forefront and center, and then you can engage with that through your decision making. Okay. Second lines are very interesting. Second lines are here. Maybe I'll just stop my share and I'll just speak to you here. Second lines are interesting because second lines are afraid of the unknown. Okay. Now, we don't have to be afraid of the unknown. Second lines, you do not need to be afraid of the unknown. In order to have confidence, what you're going to recognize is that you are capable of recognizing the unknowable and moving through it and working with it when it shows up. So the second line is the epitome of the immune system. Okay. And what do I mean by that? So the immune system, it's available, it's in your body. Okay. And at any time, that immune system is it's just there, it's waiting, and it's hopeful that when that virus, bacteria, or any kind of pathogen shows up, it'll have the capacity to then clean it out of your system. It doesn't know the unknowable until it sees it. And then it's like, oh, I recognize you as something I don't know. And then it will go and take care of that. So recognize is a second line that the minute the unknowable shows up, you will have the capacity to interact with that unknowable, how you're designed to interact with that. So being fearful of the unknown is very counterintuitive and will decrease your confidence level. To increase your confidence level, really recognize that when the unknowable comes into your aura, you will recognize it and you will be able to, quote unquote, work with it. Okay. Now, third lines. I'm a 1-3, so I understand this third line very well. Third lines get reprimanded for mistakes, which lowers our confidence levels throughout our lives. And because we get reprimanded, what happens is that we turn that reprimand into an internal narrative that tells us that we are just not good enough. We can't make mistakes. If we make mistakes, we're not good enough. We're stupid, blah, 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 all that negative talk. So understand something very deeply is third lines must make mistakes. Mistakes are actually a learning tool for us, but it is also a deep learning tool for humanity. And because it's a deep learning tool for humanity, the important piece is that you share what didn't go well. And then when you share what didn't go well, now people are learning around you and you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Now, also recognize that as a third line, you're kind of an anarchist as well. You're going to pick away at the foundations that are there, what people say should be the system. Okay, what people say how you should be afraid of the unknown. Okay, first line, second line. So the third line is designed to bump into all of that fear, all of those things, all of that anxiety, and then be able to move past it because they make a mistake, they've learned. Now that you've learned, you share it with other people and you can circumvent that mistake for others. Fourth lines. So your network, okay, what's really interesting is fourth lines have this capacity to feel fatigue inside their network. And then they think, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be in this network. Maybe this network isn't for me. Feels like I'm efforting a lot in this network. So what you are actually designed for, okay, what a fourth line is designed for, influencing actually is here to remove barricades, okay? So through your capacity to influence your network, what you're doing is you're helping them lift up these barricades that they have, okay? So does it feel fatiguing? Yes, it can feel fatiguing. And you're designed to not, not be in there constantly. You're designed to retreat out of there and then re-enter and really truly be in that space and influence your network, and always be thinking you're breaking down barriers through your influential aspect. So as you begin to notice the barriers break down as you influence people, as you notice how they move into a new realization of whatever it is that they are walking through in your network, okay, the minute you notice that, you're going to have more confidence to go out and influence. So why do you think we call social media influencers? We call them influencers because that's what they're doing. They are breaking down the barriers, and people are leaning into different aspects of their life because they feel like that influence is the correct influence for them, and you are designed for that. So if you notice that sometimes you get a little tired, it's okay. That fatigue is designed to be there. Give yourself that rest and notice how your confidence level goes up every time someone in your network breaks down a barrier. Okay. Fifth lines. I love fifth lines. Okay. The confidence gets broken for you guys when you take on the projection field and try to make it mean something about you. Recognize this really deeply. And I've been talking about this so much over the last, I don't know, 8 months, a year on this channel, is that fifth lines, you guys have the capacity to be able to see what is it that the other person needs. Okay. Because they always tell you, they project it onto you. And with confidence, what you will notice is that you will say no to those people and their expectations if you cannot help them, if your message can't serve them. But when you say yes to those that you know that your message is going to be able to serve and help, now your confidence level can go up because you're not stuck over in that constantly saying yes and then having your reputation cut off at the knees and, being quote unquote hung in the Times Square for your message, that heretical activity that takes place. So as you learn to say no and redirect people and go, you know what, I can't help you with that expectation, but I feel like so and so over there could, or that person could. Now all of a sudden your confidence level can go up because you're no longer caught in what you can't assist with. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the sixth line and that confidence, here's what is very, very interesting. Okay. So we know that what happens with the sixth line, they go through this 3-phase life: 0 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 and over. And for that first 30 years, trial and error, lots of third line activity happening there, right? Lots of things going on, experiencing lots of things. And then for 20 years, it's like you go up to the roof. It's like you're kind of compiling all that experience, compiling what worked, and you're kind of like sorting and sifting and putting it into this nice little beautiful, let's say, manual for people. Okay. And then as you jump off the roof, now you can lead because you've compiled all of these things that work. And now you've embodied that. You've been able to play in that. what works, what works, what works. And now you can go out and lead others because you are that Buddha. You know, you've just embodied the process, and it is there and it is available. It's very innocent, it's very accepting. And now you just present your capacity to be a role model to the world without anything. There's nothing attached to that energy of the six, right? It's very, very innocent. And now when you see your life like that and you recognize that, now your confidence level can go up because you can see, oh, for the first 30 years, I'm seeing what's going wrong, I'm seeing what's going right. And then for the next 20 years, you can really compile that and bring it in and really help your process. And then when you jump off and you're ready to lead, then you can lead through what works. All right, friends. So lean into your own available confidence, whether it's defined or undefined, whether it doesn't matter what line value you have, just recognize it, lean into it, and go, okay, I don't have to get caught up in that energy that lowers my confidence, but I can actually express the energy that heightens my confidence. Okay. So share in the comments below. I would love to hear your experience of how your line values show up in your life. How does the material world and the spiritual world, what do you do to marry the two? Now, is marrying the two something that you never realized before, or it's a conversation that you want to go deeper into? Share those comments here as well. I just want you to recognize that these are like really deep conversations that we get into in the mentorship group, because when we go to the space and we work in the charts, I could see, and then I help my clients see, everybody in the mentorship group recognize these tiny little aspects of human design that most analysts and readers aren't going to. They're not going to these spaces, but we go to these spaces in the mentorship group. So if that's for you, know that there's two paths, okay? If you don't need any material, if you think you have all the material that you need, you can enter into the mentorship group, because I have very limited resources inside the mentorship group, okay? However, if you want all of the material, I have created a self-study, and now I've married it with the mentorship for 12 months, okay? So that you can get all the material. So I'm talking the business material, relationship, children, health, wellness, everything that I learned in 8 years. I've put it into a self-study, and now you can go that way so you can get the self-study and the mentorship together, okay? So I would love to see you on the inside. We have a great group of people. We're going to be live again on the YouTube channel, just, talking about design and moving that way. So if you are interested and you want to get involved, all the links are in the description. You can go and jump on that page and check it out. All right. Thank you.